everyone. This video will cover Module 8. Module 8 is the halfway point of the semester, so you do have a midpoint survey that you can take about the class. And this will also be the first module where we start looking at our last major essay assignment, our kind of our biggest essay for the class, which is the comparison essay. We'll have, I think there's one more essay after this, which is a little bit more simple. It's not as long, not as complex. And then the final. So we're kind of in the middle of the number of essay assignments, but this is really for most students, the most difficult essay that we'll write. So the assignment is a comparison contrast essay. So the first thing you're going to do is learn more about comparison contrast. So we got the readings here for you to complete through the patterns textbook, and we have a few examples that you can read as well. Then you'll take the quiz, which is just like we've done before. And the quiz goes over the readings, and then you can take it as many times as you want to. Then we get to the essay assignment itself. The essay assignment is to pick two entities that you can put side by side in order to make connections. Your comparison needs to be one that you can actually develop. So you want to pick topics that have a little bit of complexity to them so that you have something that you can really get into. So baked potatoes versus mashed potatoes is probably not complex enough for an entire essay. So you might consider something like, I have a lot of students looking at like two different religions, or two different brands, or two different, like this example here, two different types of guitars. Some students like to pick things that their reader probably maybe even uses interchangeably, like EMTs and paramedics. Most people will use those terms interchangeably, but they're actually two different jobs, and you can achieve those jobs in different ways, and they're different paths, career paths, although they do almost exact same type of work. So it's just something, or nurses and nurse practitioners, or nurses and doctors, or, so there's a lot of things that people use interchangeably, where you might focus a lot of that essay on pointing out the differences between them. Or you could pick something where the two things seem really like opposites. So two different religions, Christianity and Islam, Christianity and Judaism, and focus on some of the similarities between them. Just makes it more interesting. But your point is, the whole focus of the essay is really looking at similarities or differences, or both within the essay. But you'll end up having a focus. You'll either focus on similarities or differences. So you want to be thinking about how you can approach that as you discover your topic. So the essay itself is going to be 2 to 4 pages, so roughly the same length as the last essay that we wrote. You're going to have thesis statement that is just giving the point of the essay. You are not writing an argument. So we use a comparison a lot in order to make a decision about something. So this is a little bit of a difference between just a regular comparison and what we're doing for this essay. You are not arguing that one is better than the other. You're not trying to discover, which cell phone version is the one that you should buy. It is just to put the two subjects side by side and discover the similarities and differences between them. You'll have at least 3 body paragraphs. The body paragraphs will expand on one similarity or one difference between them. You have effective organization, making sure you use those transitions that show either this is a similarity or a difference. And then you do have to use at least 2 sources in this essay. Some students will use 2 sources, like one source about one topic and the other source about the other topic, and that's fine. And then some students will use just 2 sources that actually contain both topics, so they're comparative sources already, and that's fine. You have to have 2 sources and a minimum of 1 direct quote and 1 paraphrase. This is an essay that I do not want you to use first person in, so we are moving past personal writing, and so you're not including anything about yourself. This will be a researched essay. So if you don't know anything about one of the topics, you're going to be looking at some sources for it. The minimum is 2 sources, 1 quote, 1 paraphrase. That is the minimum for a passing grade. So you should be looking at more than that in order to fill out the essay and develop it. So those are just some changes to this assignment that we haven't seen before. This is why a lot of students consider this essay the most difficult, because it is not personal. And that might dictate your topic choice as well. If you feel really strongly, like if you wanted to do Democrats versus Republicans, but you feel really strongly one way or the other, I would not pick it for this essay, because that will make it a lot more difficult to remain neutral and not argue in the essay. There's plenty of topics out there. I've got a document that I use in my face-to-face classes that you can take a look at, and there's just a whole bunch of different ideas on there. Some of them are ideas that I've collected over time from other student essays, and then some of them are just ones that I think would work really well. So you can see that there's quite a few, there's a lot of variety out there, but the main ones that will work really well are ones where you can have multiple points for comparison. So, you know, something like homeschooling and public schooling, you know, we've got quite a bit that we could cover for each one. Everything from curriculum to how assignments are submitted to, you know, what grades are like, and like statistically how well students do. And then there's topics in every area of interest as well. So I get a lot of sports topics. Baseball versus softball is a very popular one, because a lot of people just kind of assume they're the same, since they look so similar when you play them, but there are quite a few differences. And then, you know, if you're interested in history, there's plenty of topics that can be pulled out of history. I get some like mythology comparisons, which are really interesting. If you're a biology person, you know, you can compare different animals that a lot of people assume are the same, you know, toads versus frogs, or turtles and tortoises. And so that can give you a lot of different ideas. And then I also have this website here that you can look at. There's so many good topic ideas out there that you should hopefully not have a problem coming up with one that you actually want to write about. So this is just some pre-writing resources for you, and there's a couple of entries that you're going to do. And so this is just some links that I have in here just to help you complete the assignment. But the pre-writing journal is this assignment right here. And you will be doing this similarly to all the other journal assignments that we've done. It's like a personal discussion board. The only posts that you see are the ones where you have posted them, so you're not interacting with your peers. And there are 4 entries that you're going to complete. You'll do a brainstorm of different pairings of words. You have to come up with at least 20 of them. And I recommend like setting a timer and seeing how many you can type as you know, just to test yourself, but you can definitely take some time on that. And then free write, that's a real like traditional, you know, pick a couple of your ideas and then do a free write on it. And then you brainstorm using, I like Venn diagrams. Actually, I'm going to check and see if this, yeah, you can do Venn diagrams using the free Canva tool. And then if you want to just like take a screenshot of it and submit it, I'm sure that there's a way to download a file, but you probably have to pay for it. You definitely don't need to pay for anything. You can also just draw one, you know, on a piece of paper or in Word or something like that. And that would be fine. Or you can do a cluster map, which we've done before, or you can do an informal outline. So I think that visually Venn diagrams work the best for comparison. And then you'll come up with a comparison thesis, and that resources page gives you more information about that. So you'll post your 4 entries separately, just like you've done before. The last thing in this unit is the midpoint survey, which allows you to give feedback on the class and earn some extra credit. It is anonymous, and just, you know, give me some ideas about anything that needs to be changed for the rest of the semester. Maybe I can help you out a little bit in some areas. So if you have any questions, send me an email. Otherwise, have a great day.